Hello and welcome to the Healed with Alyssa podcast. I am so excited for you guys to learn more information from me. This podcast is going to be all about helping heal your child and your family naturally without drugs or surgery. So let's get into it. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Healed with Alyssa podcast. On today's episode, I want to talk about muscle testing. I get a ton of questions about what is muscle testing? How does it work? Can you do it virtually? So today's episode will be about muscle testing. So I am Alyssa. I am a holistic nurse practitioner, and I help families get well naturally without the use of drugs or surgery. And the main way that I help people get well naturally is through muscle testing. So what is muscle testing? So it is a type of testing that we use. It's a non-invasive testing to help us identify the true root cause of what is going on in your body. So what we test for in muscle testing, we test for food sensitivities, we test for immune system challenges. So we test for bacteria like Lyme disease, viruses like COVID, Epstein-Barr. We also test for mold, fungal issues, candida, all different types of parasites. You know, I love parasites. And we also test for heavy metals like mercury, aluminum. We test for toxic chemicals like chlorine, pesticides, lawn spray, plastics, BPAs. I can also test for different things related to the latest jab because that actually has a lot of different health issues that it causes. So I can actually test for things relating to that as well. So people, everyone always asks me like, well, I did a stool test and it says I don't have parasites. Well, as I said before, that the founder of Cellcore says, if you have a pulse, you have a parasite. Okay, so everyone has parasites, but they are not in your stool. They are hiding in your organs. They're in your lungs. They're in your sinuses. They're in your liver. There could be in your eyes causing floaters, right? They can be in your tonsils causing inflamed tonsils. They can be everywhere in the organs, but they're not in your stool because you're not cleansing them. You're not getting them out. They're staying in those organs. And through muscle testing, we can find out, do you have parasites? Where are they located? How strong is that toxin in your body? As a nurse practitioner, I can do every single blood test in the world, right? I can run a functional blood test. I can run regular blood tests. But guess what? I rarely do blood tests because it doesn't tell me what is going on in the body like muscle testing can tell me. You're not going to find mold in a blood test. You're not going to find parasite in a blood test, even a stool test. People do, GI map and all these things in there. Their doctor said, oh, you have high levels of this bacteria. Well, why is the bacteria in there in the first place? Bacteria is there to clean something up. Okay, so usually there's a parasite there if it's a bacteria, or there's a toxin such as pesticides or radiation. I see a ton of radiation in my patients because it's in the water. It's in the water that they're drinking. So through muscle testing, we can do this. And who is muscle testing for? Muscle testing is for literally everyone. I work on babies, infants that are a few hours old, breastfeeding moms, pregnant moms. I work with elderly. Some of my oldest patients are in their 90s. It's never too late to work on improving your health, right? No one needs to suffer and struggle, even if they're in their 90s with pains and aches. Doesn't have to be. Also, it's great for toddlers. I do it with pets too. I helped my dog a few years ago when he was really struggling he had a cancer in his nose, and we really helped him live a better life for as long as he could. And yeah, so this works amazing. There's vets that do muscle testing on pets. So that is amazing. It's amazing for pets. I love I love helping dogs. Dogs and babies are just like my favorite thing to help. But I work with people of all ages. So muscle testing, if people are like, well, I can't hold my arm up. It doesn't matter. We can use someone else to help them hold their arm up. So it's such an amazing tool. And then people want to know, well, how do you do that virtually? So muscle testing is based off of quantum physics. Okay. And when I'm looking at quantum physics, there's no distance bounds to energy, right? This is energies, this is frequencies. People can do Reiki virtually. I've done Reiki just from a YouTube video, and I felt the frequency of this person on a YouTube video. Like, how does that work? Because there's no distance bounds to energy and frequency. And I would say about at this point, 70% of my practice is virtual. Even my local patients do it virtually because we're busy. We're busy parents. We're busy moms. We're on the go. We're working. We don't need to drive 30 minutes to come and then 30 minutes to go back for a quick appointment, right? I love doing virtual. I do love seeing my patients in person, but I want it to be convenient for my patients. I don't want them to have to drive an hour total to come and see me when we can do it on a Zoom or a phone call. And it's the same way that you can talk to someone across the country on a cell phone. How does that work? Right? Whenever I say this, someone's like, well, everyone's so concerned with how does muscle testing work? Like, how can you do that virtually? I'm like, well, do you know how you can call someone across the country on the phone? And they're like, I don't know, just like cell phone towers. I'm like, yeah, that's based off energy and frequency. It's the same premise, right? So no one questions, how can I talk to this person across the country on a cell phone? Or I could FaceTime with someone in another country, right? How does that work? Right? It's off of frequencies. Each cell phone number has a frequency. You call that frequency, and then the connection's there. So it's all about energy and frequency. And we have unbelievable results from muscle testing. So it's just amazing. And as I said, I can run every blood test in the book, right? I can run all these functional blood tests. Number one, they're really expensive. I've done functional blood tests on myself, and I spent $1,200 just on the testing, right? That doesn't even give me a protocol. It doesn't give me access to a practitioner. It's just the lab, right? That's a lot of money in my book. $1,200 for one blood test. When muscle testing, we can see exactly what is going on in the body, how strong it is in the body, and exactly what needs to heal, right? How are we going to get this toxin out of the body? How are we going to heal the body from this toxin? So this is why I do muscle testing, because I have never in my 10 plus years of working as a nurse practitioner, I've never seen something so non-invasive, right? There's no technology involved in muscle testing. I literally just push on the person's arm. I want to see what organs are stressed in their body, right? Is it their liver? Is it their adrenals? Is it their thyroid? Right? I want to see what organs are stressed in their body. And I don't need any fancy equipment. I don't need any blood tests. I don't need an MRI to know which organs are stressed. And I have people who have come to me who have seen 20 plus specialists and they have no answer for them. 20 specialists. They go to all the top people in New York City, right? They go to NYU, they go to Cornell, they go here, they go there, they go to Sloan Kettering, they go here. They don't have an answer for them. They're like, oh, you're fine. We can't find anything wrong with you. But the person is experiencing horrible symptoms. Like, how is that possible? And they come to me. We find maybe it's parasites, maybe it's mold, maybe it's relating to the new jab that they got a few years ago. And I'm seeing a lot of people suffering post jab. So if you or know someone that's suffering with that, please tell them to make an appointment, because I don't like to see people suffer. I don't want people to be spending 4 days a week going to specialists with getting no answer. Like, how horrible is that? right? We need to address the root cause. And I love it because I think that people are opening their eyes and they're realizing this is the time, right? We're done with Band-Aids. We're done with that. We want to address and we want to heal our bodies naturally. So muscle testing is the most amazing way to do that. And you have access. I can do this with people across the country, right? In other countries. Um I have family members that I've worked with in Brazil to help them heal, right? They don't have access to these kind of things in Brazil. So, or other countries, right? I can work with people in different countries as well. The biggest issue is getting the supplements there, but we get it there. It may take a little bit, but we get it there. So, the power of muscle testing, non-invasive. It's amazing for kids, right? What kid wants to get a blood test? I don't know any toddler that is willing to get a blood test. And guess what? That's barely going to give any information for you. So I work with so many toddlers, and you know what? They love it. The toddlers come in here and they want to muscle test their family. They want to muscle test their stuffed animals, their toys. And they absolutely love it. And it makes my heart smile when I'm able to see these kids and they are so into it. They love the holistic aspect of healing. And when you start at a young age, it just is going to catapult their health long term. So this is my little spiel about muscle testing. It is an amazing tool, non-invasive, and we can literally see exactly what is going on in the body and exactly what we need to help it heal. We do this for people all over the country and we get amazing results. So if you want to make an appointment, please schedule an appointment. I would love to help you heal. If this podcast episode resonated with you, please share with another mother or another family who's going through similar issues. And if you could please leave us a review and a rating, it would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you on the next episode.